revolutions, every revolution or every political movement or any kind of change, and having someone, okay, CIA, which is fucking for you to call me CIA when you know I'm not.
Everything was politicized. It was, oh, this is when we became the left versus the right. But both sides are trash. In COVID,
his own thing. So it seems to be that money's the issue, that like we're using money and that's how politics is being pushed. Because now we've seen what someone does when they use their own money and it doesn't seem to be a solution. So I feel like we take money out of politics, we'll have a much better political system.
Politician, you think they're gonna come out and tell me the truth? They was lying to my mama. They ain't gonna never tell us.
So everybody, we look at certain things just because, oh, this happens in the hood or we see this every day. All the way up. These people were speaking truth. King, we could talk X, we could talk it all. They were speaking truth.
What's going on in anyone's mind, but let's take it as a given that Gray's argument is true, that the argument to not have ID is that it would be discriminatory versus certain socioeconomic brackets or something. It's like
the world's greatest trial run of what people will do and what people won't do. And we are the only country on the planet that really fought against the government. A lot of it,
because you focus on 80-20 issues. I'm looking at the Epstein issue as we have 80% of the information we need to prosecute these people that actually did anything, but you're focusing on the 20% trying to take down Donald Trump, which you're never going to get. So I'm going to keep sitting here with a smug-ass face on every single day.
I'll explain. Good question. I'll give you the answer. The Republican Party constantly talks about transgenders and transgender surgery to minors.
I'm mostly on the left, ideologically, but I don't associate with the Democrats because they're not ideologically on the left. The Democrats are clowns, and they're also losers.
About to be any engaging conversation. It's not about to be any discourse about different political ideologies, what works and what doesn't. If that is the outcome, right? For example, I'm not going to go and just put myself in the middle of a KKK rally.
Verify me. I'm not a fucking Fed. They always do this. I'll say this, right? And they did the same thing to Nick. We've seen the video. They'll call people who are genuine and authentic Feds because
the interesting thing to me is that the ones that claim that they believe the Constitution are now trampling the Constitution. The ones that said they believed in the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, right, are now going against the freedom of speech. The ones that...
So to see and hear this strong, compelling speech with emotion, I think that's extremely important for young men to see from a leadership perspective.
They don't have no plan. They don't ever talk about nothing positive about the Democrat Party. Everything is just anti-Trump. They're not willing to have a conversation. They call us fascists. We willing to have a conversation. Charlie Kirk's willing to have a conversation.
The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief...
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also saying...
I wouldn't be proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Waltz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country. And all they do is complain, complain, complain. You have her. She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with... go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution. All she does is complain about this country. And without this country, she would not be in very good shape. She probably wouldn't be alive right now. So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth. I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon. I hope. But what Somalia, what the Somalian people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. It's not even believable. And a lot of it starts with the governor. A lot of it starts with Barack Hussein Obama, because that's when people started coming in. And you have to have people come in that are going to love our country, cherish our country. They want to kiss our country goodnight. They talk about our country. We want them to pray for our country. This is not the people living in Minnesota. And she's a disaster. She should not be, and her friends shouldn't be allowed. Frankly, they shouldn't even be allowed to be Congress people, okay? They shouldn't even be allowed to be Congress people because they don't represent the interests of...
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Welcome to the Man Cave. Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm Gray Mars.
I'm 85 Slim.
I'm Evan.
I'm Dot.
Ken Billions, what's happening?
Shout out to Missy. We came in strong with a super chat. Thank you, Missy. She comes from Enzo's Live. Appreciate that. So it's the big talk is about Somali people and what is going on in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis. Slim, how do you feel about what's going on? Are you familiar with what's going on with the Somali people over in Minnesota?
Man, it's about time. I knew it was something going down with homegirl. And that girl's been after the president for a long time. And it's like everything that I'm seeing now, I sent you a video earlier too, man. And everything that I'm seeing now is kind of like everything coming into fruition on why they was acting this way, and everything that they were hiding. I mean, this girl was sending the funds to a terrorist operation in Somalia. I mean, is that where we are now? And that's cool. But I'm just surprised I haven't heard anything from your homegirl, AOC. I'm like wondering where she at in all this. So, I mean, it's dominoes, man.
So basically, they sent ICE in right after what you just said, all the fraud accusations. So this is what he had to say.
Expect ICE to make its presence really known in the Twin Cities, Tom? Approximately.
I can't forecast that. I don't want to, I don't want to give up operations, but I can tell you that, Secretary Noem's all over it. I know ICE and CBP and other federal agencies, the FBI, DEA, ATF. President Trump's been a genius on this. He brings all the government to these operations. So if we arrest an alien with drugs, you got the DEA right there can prosecute the case before we deport him. If you get him with a gun, you got ATF right there to prosecute the case before we deport him. But I can tell you, focus is there. It's coming. But I don't want to give a lot. I can't tell you how many people are on the ground now, how many people are going to be on the ground. I'll leave that to the Secretary of Homeland Security. But focus is on those Twin Cities. more because of the criminal activities been uncovered by DOJ and DHS.
Heaven, it's been a lot of fraud. Is ICE the answer? Is deportation the answer to this criminal activity?
There's alleged criminal activity, or has this been proven in a court of law? I'm just
Nobody-
asking for clarity.
nobody's
Are we
been-
just spreading rumors here? Are we just, I want to make sure, like, do we have proof of this fraud, or is it just the media news station saying this? And I'm only saying that because both sides are so heavily propagandized, and it takes our focus away from the real issues, and it has us at each other's throats. So that's why I'm asking, like, is it just media stations reporting this, or are people getting arrested? You know what I mean?
Nobody's been arrested yet, but there has been proof of fraud.
Okay. Well, then why aren't they arrested? What the fuck? Arrest them.
Well, they got to investigate, they got to gather evidence, and then they got to go to the district attorney and say, okay, is this enough to charge these people?
Oh, so they don't have enough for an arrest warrant yet.
Well, this is what the mayor of Minneapolis had to say about it, like to give you more clarification.
And we want them here. Somali people have been an extraordinary benefit. I'll say it again. Somali people have been a benefit to our city for longer than I have been in our city. They have started businesses and created jobs. They have added to the cultural fabric of what Minneapolis is. They were welcoming to me when I first came out to Minneapolis. And in fact, they were one of the first groups that I myself got to know. You know, to, again, villainize an entire group is ridiculous under any circumstances. And the way that Donald Trump is consistently doing it, I think calls into question major constitutional violations. And it certainly violates the moral fabric of what we stand by in this country as Americans.
So he didn't really describe the case, but it's a, go ahead.
It gave me a little bit more of, you know, what he's saying versus what the other individual is saying versus what Donald Trump is saying. I don't think it's fair to lump one group together. I think anybody can agree with that. You know what I mean? We say that's racial profiling, whether it be lumping all Irish under a stereotype or all whatever. Just because one black person does a crime doesn't mean all black people do crimes. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's unreasonable to say. We're humans. We're all diverse, regardless of just our skin color. I think it's not. President mocking the Constitution is ridiculous, but he's shit on it this entire fucking term thus far. So I don't expect anything less. And I saw someone in the chat saying they're deploying National Guard. Yes, let him continue to violate the Constitution and the Posse Comitatus Act. Continue to do that.
Well, this is what an activist had to say about DHS coming out there.
My name is Jamal Osman. I am the council member of Ward 6, someone who represents the largest East African community in Minneapolis. I am proud to say I'm a Somali American. This country welcomed me, my family, 26 years ago. It has provided me a life that I did not have in Somalia. We came here and we are thankful to be here. I've been educated here, got the opportunity to serve my community, to be a council member. I know many families are fearful tonight. They are. But I want you to know that City of Minneapolis stand behind you as the leaders, both mayors and the chief and everyone that's standing behind you are here to stand with you. Our community has lived through fear in the past. And we're not going to let us divide that. We're going to stay informed, we're going to stay safe, and we're going to support each other. We will continue to working our partners on the ground so residents know their rights. They know where to turn for help. And we know that Minneapolis will not abandon. One of the things I do want to say, and obviously everyone knows that our president is racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic, and we are going to fight that. America has a history of fighting and stopping those kind of individuals who continue to divide people and divide communities. Many Somalis that live in this community are working at your groceries, working at your hospitals, delivering your babies. They're doctors. They are very successful individuals. Now I would like to switch into Somali to speak to my community. Assalamu alaikum. Walaalayaal, waxaan la hadlayaa community.
And do you feel like the Somali community should be scared? Do you feel like what he said was right? And should he have attacked President Trump?
Should the Somali community be scared? For sure, because just the history of America and our humans' ability to other each other, like when you use and we other each other with language. So suspect, terrorist, right? We other each other with the language, and when you do that, you tear the humanity away from the group of people. So when people do something to you, they don't look like you they don't feel like you're one of theirs. You're something other, right? Now, what he just did, I was shaking my head and I was like, no. The average American doesn't have a Quran, right? So yeah, you have Dearborn, Michigan, you have Philadelphia where you have Muslim pockets, but the average American doesn't have a Quran. The average American is not that smart. For real, in terms of other cultures. We get our experience through television and then when we're tourists somewhere, right? But we move out throughout the world othering people. When he just was going into that prayer right there, I viewed it from a perspective of a person that has never read a Quran, that doesn't know about that Baghdad empire, that doesn't know about the contributions that have came from the Islamic world. I viewed it from a person living in Nebraska, and the only experience that I've ever had was with my own kind, right? You kind of have to graduate people into other cultures. The average America is xenophobic. The average America is hella racist. The average American does not do well with change. So looking at that on on national TV, when you live in Idaho, when you live in Wisconsin, when you live in middle America, where you don't have experience with other people, I don't know about that.
For sure. So the police chief is going up against ICE. He said if ICE captures anybody, that it might be considered kidnapping.
Folks that are masked, that they're not sure if they're law enforcement, that they may be kidnapping people. Like we have had those reports. I want to be clear to the community. The community should know that if you see something like that, that is legitimate, that you don't know if someone is law enforcement, you should call 911. And you should provide as much information as possible, because let's not forget, we very recently had tragedy in this state by someone who was purporting to be law enforcement. So please, let's be clear. That's something everyone should report and that we will immediately respond to, and we will document, whether it's somebody's not sure if there's a kidnapping happening, somebody's not sure if there's law enforcement present or not. And that's something else that's additional policy requirements that we are implementing, that we will document and report these types of things anytime that we hear it, and reminding our officers of their duty to intervene. So if there is anything that is, a violation of someone's human rights or civil rights, excessive force or anything like that, they absolutely have a duty to intervene as police officers.
Doc, is the police chief wrong for saying that ICE doing this could possibly be a kidnapping? Even though he says people impersonated, is he putting ICE in danger by saying that?
I don't know if he's putting ICE in danger. I think it's a very nuanced situation because these people don't identify themselves typically. You know what I mean? Like they don't have name tags that covering their face. it's never like you go look at some of the videos and people are being different gear, different uniforms, sometimes depending on the location. So that can get dangerous because I'll tell you about a situation here. I'm in Savannah, Georgia. Some guys threw on some Amazon gears, act like they were Amazon, knocked on somebody's house and forced entry. You know what I mean? But you think it's Amazon leaving a package. You know what I mean? So that's just one case of it. But so I think because what they're doing is so hard to do if people know you're coming, that they dress in a certain way and they do it and they take that as part of the job, but it also opens them up to danger. It opens the public up to danger. It opens people's up to questions. And that's just going to be the nature of it. And also for a lot of people, I see a lot of people in the chat saying, send somebody back. I think that's the biggest problem with what Trump said. When Trump gets out here and he makes these comments, and I think it's nuanced to it because the people who are arguing and doing fraud and all that, Trump has every right and needs to deport those people. But he needs to direct his comments to those people. His comments are so broad. When you look at his statements are so broad and they are including the entire population. They're including good people. Somebody who just said, this guy said he was a Somali American, and people are like, deport, while he's talking like, how we deport an American citizen? You know what I mean? Who comes from anywhere? Trump is 2 generations from being an American citizen, being an immigrant. So I think that's the problem. Like the people doing fraud and breaking the law and aren't supposed to be here. Yeah, he has every right to do that. But we're talking about, we're talking about an entire group. He's demonizing an entire group. And I think he incites these no front teeth having middle of America motherfuckers who can't read the Cat in the Hat to go out here and be a deport with their pitchforks. You know what I'm saying? Got dragging their sister down the street by the arm. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I think that's the problem with a lot of his comments. He needs to be more intentional about the audience he's speaking to and the people he's talking about.
Well,
wasn't his wife an illegal immigrant? I'm just asking. I know she's an immigrant, but didn't she overstay her visa?
Not that I know of. I know she's good now for sure.
So she can have citizenship to Russia, right? And we ain't worried about that as a national security risk. Okay.
So this is a Somali actually getting his papers looked at.
Yes. What was that about? I don't know. These guys just randomly take me off. I'm a citizen of this country, and they take me off and they hold me. They detain me here. I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. These guys are so stupid. I don't know what they're talking. What they want to see? My passport. I give my ID. I give my passport ID. Everything. They didn't want to listen to me. They want to talk to their supervisors.
And they said they take interview. I don't know why they take interview here.
They asked me, have you been interviewed or what? I said, no, I haven't been interviewed. They said they're going to take interview. And as soon as you come, they said it's going to be hot. So they just run off. They took it off. Because of you guys, they just, they didn't want you to involve with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I get your name or do you want to give that?
My name is Ali.
Can you spell it?
Ali. And last name Dahir.
Can I just tell how long you've been in the country?
Excuse me?
How long have you been in the country? I'm just curious.
Telling me what? 25 years. Yeah, 25 years I live here.
So Ken, a guy living here for 25 years and then now he getting his papers looked at. Is that a good thing?
Is it a good thing? Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think you need to make an investment in the people. Like deporting, like doing all this is not making an investment in the people here. People here are not learning financial literacy. This is not increasing people that's from here in trades, right? This is super. Hey, you create ops. So we have a lot of internal fighting. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like it because based on the history, I'm just going on the history. When we other people, violence goes with that. You know what I'm saying? So I see this escalating, especially as more jobs get outsourced, and the economy pinches, people have to put the blame on why their quality of life is low. So they're not going to put it on the ruling class. They're not going to put it on the state. They're going to put it on the people around them that have been othered. They are going to be the reason why I can't pay my mortgage. They're going to be the reason why my car don't start. They're going to be the reason why I got a divorce. So that's our history in America. We don't put our anger towards the ruling class. We put our anger towards the people that have been othered.
So it's a big thing about flags in this country, and the person who's one of the main people around this also is Tim Walz. So a lot of people were upset when he did this with a flag.
Whoa, wait a minute. There, that's better.
So Slim, he removed the state flag and he put the Somali flag in its place. Does that mean they're taking over? What do you think?
Tim Walz is a clown. I think he's implicated as well. He's dealing with something too. I'm sure you're probably going to get into that. I don't want to spoil the information, but yeah, he's gonna have a lot of explaining to do himself. So he better play ball, however you look at it. So he's gonna try to keep the people on his side, but the information about to come out.
Yeah, for sure. You talking about the whole fraud and everything like that, right?
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to ruin it because I know you're gonna get into it.
We covered it last night.
I got to make sure that there is no misinformation coming out of the new party, okay? Because what he did was replace the old Minnesota flag with the new Minnesota flag, which people say looks like the Somali flag. If you want to look just on Google, just Google it real quick, new Minnesota flag. You can debunk that shit real fucking quick. Get your heads out of your asses. God damn. Again, propagandize left, right. Let's hate each other. God, can we get it together? So, I don't know, we can get it together? Because America, red, blue, green. Hello. They're playing us.
So you saying the Somalis that made Minnesota change their flag, have it?
Yep, they did. It was by force. By force.
So this is what people were saying on the street.
That's what they're gonna say. That's what people are gonna say.
I think St. Cloud has been taken over by Somalis.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the Somali takeover?
Get out.
I don't know.
You don't want him here?
I mean, we can't.
I mean, I'm fine with them. It's just that, it's overpopulating.
Do you feel like they're going to eventually overpopulate the Americans here?
Yeah, they definitely will.
And did you guys vote for them to come here? As far as, did you guys have to pass any legislation in order to receive them?
No.
In your personal opinion, what's the biggest issue with them being here inside of you guys' city?
Driving. It's always a car crash for no reason.
Robbing people.
Yeah, definitely crime. Pirates.
And the correlation between the Somalis and Muslims, are the majority of them all Muslims?
Yeah.
So 10 years from now, do you guys think the Somalis will be the majority here?
Yeah, definitely.
So haven't you seen passionate about this? They're saying still that it's going to be the majority. Thank you for correcting about the flag, but people are upset because they feel like they're losing their community. So what do you say to these people?
I want people to understand that we're going to hear this, we're going to hear that, but look around. In your immediate, for a perfect example is the transgender thing. Tell me how many of you are actually affected by a transgender individual in your actual life, not what they're saying, not what this is that and this is that, in your real life. How many immigrant criminals have you run across versus how many immigrant, decent, hardworking people have you come across? Think before you act. Think at what they're saying. Think at what you see, what you actually experience for yourself. Slim coming from New York, the melting pot. I know there's a lot of immigrants over there. Legal immigrants, some undocumented, some legal. And in DC, there's a lot of immigrants as well. I've lived in both of those places. Boston, same thing. Georgia, same thing. Florida definitely got a lot of immigrants, and they pay taxes. There's a lot of other things that people need to look at and what they experience in their real life, not the propaganda that's being pushed.
I think it's a little crazy though for some black dudes to get on there and say that they feel like they're losing their community only because the black community was lost in integration, black stores, black business, all of that sense of community we had, that was lost during integration back in the 60s and in the 70s, through drugs and over policing and all of these different ways that they use. So for them to get up there and say they feel like they're losing their community because some guys immigrated, the people who immigrated the legal way, you know what I mean? I think that's a little disingenuous for black people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but can you tell me that child has that child experienced someone being robbed, or did they hear that? Because the child was quick to come out and say something, wasn't he? The first thing out his mouth, getting robbed, yeah. But a child is just repeating what they say. Those aren't thoughts that this child came up with himself at 7, 10 years old, maybe.
Hey, for real, the only people in the country that is gonna talk like that are the people with no motion. For real. When you don't got no motion, everything is a problem. Trans are a problem. Immigrants are a problem. Everybody's a problem because you don't got no motion. So you walk in that crib every day and your wifey is in there and you don't got no answers. And then babies is in there and you don't got no answers. So when you don't got no motion, everything is a problem. Notice the people that are really discussing this and are really are up in arms about shit like this, where do they stand in the class strata? Where do they sit? Right? I guarantee you they're not reading a lot of books. I guarantee you they're not doing a lot of traveling. I guarantee you they're not well cultured. I guarantee you when you look at their they ain't attending no private schools, right? No shade though, but when your pockets is hurting and you can't eat and you broke and you poor and there's conflict in your crib, that's how you gonna talk. When you don't got no motion, everything is a problem.
So the other politician that surrounded this is Ilhan Omar, and this was her response to Trump talking trash about it.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming. And we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
Slim, do you feel that her response was appropriate? Do you feel like it's unfair what Trump is saying about them?
No, she's a piece of shit. She's always been a piece of shit. At the end of the day, that bitch going down too. So she could say whatever the hell she want. I'm sitting back eating popcorn and let them get the fuck up out of here. Period. They did the crimes, they're going down, and it's going to be proven. Peace.
Okay, I feel you on that. So there was a big case. I'm going to do a flashback case because a lot of people are basically bringing up this case now that this has happened and trying to say that some other people are a threat. So y'all might remember this, but this case made nationwide news.
Late news from Minneapolis, where a jury has just found a police officer guilty in the shooting death of an unarmed woman. Dean Reynolds is at the courthouse for us. Dean.
Jeff, after a 21-day trial, Mohammed Noor, the former Minneapolis police officer, was convicted in the shooting death of Justine Damon back in 2017. The jury found him guilty of third-degree murder and manslaughter, but acquitted him on a second-degree murder charge.
This is a tragic shooting that did not have to happen.
It took 2 years to get here. Their lives intersected for a brief minute in a dark alley. An unarmed, barefoot woman in her pajamas looking for help, and a police officer responding to her 911 call. On July 15, 2017, Justine Damon called to report a possible sexual assault near her home. Mohammed Noor testified he and his partner drove down the alley with their lights off in search of a suspect. He said that while the car was stopped, he heard a loud slap on the side of his squad car, and Damon suddenly appeared outside the driver's side window. Fearing for his partner's life, Noor said he fired at Damon from the passenger seat. The question was always whether the jury believed that slap actually happened. The case tested the legal limits of a state law that allowed for the use of deadly force if a threat was perceived. Throughout the 3-week trial, Noor was stoic, but the shooting shook the city to its core. Protesters marched, the police chief was fired, the mayor was quickly voted out. During closing arguments, Noor's attorney slapped the lectern to simulate the sound that allegedly startled the officers. Prosecutors said the slap never happened, and none of Damon's DNA was found on the car, which was washed days after the incident. Mike Freeman is the Hennepin County attorney.
Well, the evidence showed that the officer acted unreasonably.
After the verdict was read aloud, Noor was handcuffed and led away. He is now in custody, and he could face as much as 25.
So we got a super chat from our friend Kelly. Karim, mass deportations now. So Doc, that guy, he was a Somalian cop. He unalived a white woman. She was Australian, and he did end up going to jail, but he did get out. But people are now bringing that up and saying that they control the police, and like this is why white people are being deleted. So do you feel like, you know, with cops and all of this, that this is going to be an issue, and if this is this unfair?
That motherfucker should have got a life sentence. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no soft spot in my heart for scary cops. The job is scary, bro. You know what I mean? You out here, you in body armor, taser, you got backup, you gotta, and you the first thing you do is you pull up and you fire around at a woman outside a cop. And say he had 12 and a half years was a sentence. So I don't have no sympathy for him. They should have gave his ass life in prison. But I could see how that could be. But I mean, that's in every community. That just ain't the Somali community. That's in every community where people have sway. Ahmaud Arbery was run down and gunned down in Brunswick, Georgia, 30 minutes from where I live. And because the guy knew the DA, they didn't charge them for months. They passed on the DA. Took about a year before they even arrested these dudes. So that's from every community in this country. You know, people gonna have some sway. So I think that's not only a problem in that community, that's gonna be a problem in every community in the country. Not to make it just such a small thing or just a Somali thing. I think that's a problem everywhere.
I'm gonna play what a Somali police officer said and why would people feel like that.
baan askarnahay Soomaaliyeed ininka inii shaqeynaa habeenii maalmo ininka inii taaganahay ma fahanteen horta sida ogtihiin ba wadankan anaga qaxootiyan nimaadnay askar Soomaaliya ma jirin marka hadda anaga markiina la haygareeyay waxay noqotay inaan dadkeena u shaqeyno dadkii dhaqankii ma fahmeynaa luqadii ma fahmeynaa culture-kii ma fahmeynaa marka qofka kale ma taqaana ajnabiga abadaanka iyo anaga waa kala duwanahay because qofkii gaabkii waxa we build that bridge kaas ma fahantay marka insha Allah waa mahadsantiin again ogaada askari kasta oo Soomaaliya dalka iyo dawladaba inuu inii shaqeeyaa habeenkii marka hurudaan iyo marka ma taqaana achievetaanba ininka inii taaganahay oo
So, Ken, you talked about the voice and the prayer and everything. So, him saying that they're looking out for the Somalian people, he's a cop. Do you feel like that was a good look?
No, I don't. And I will say this: I could call the other side too. My thinking too is like, what is like FBA people's, the collective of FBA? What is their experience with dealing with like Somali police? Like, how do they see like Black Americans? Like, how do they go about that? Do they handle them like white police? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't the same culture. We got the same shade of brown, but we ain't the same people though. You know what I mean? So how do they? I'm not sure. I live in Arizona, so ain't no Somali police. It is Mexican police though, and the Mexican police in Arizona give like Mexicans born in Mexico the business. You know what I'm saying? There ain't the border patrol agents. There ain't no, I see that this is my brother. We from the same nation. None of that. They be upside their head. So I'm just curious that when you have people that come here as refugees and your peoples ain't from here, how do you police Americans? Because we technically not the same. My grandmama and them is from here. I grew up on BET, MTV. I grew up on Family Matters. There's like certain cultural things I have with Americans, no matter what your ethnicity is. We kind of same. We watch the same Saturday cartoons. You know what I'm saying? We watch Beavis and Butthead together. So when you got people that's not, your bloodline ain't really been here for generations, and you're allowed to have a position of power and a gun, like, I don't know. How do you police Americans? I'm not sure about that.
So I just want to play what actually happened, like, because I know some people might not know what actually happened. So this is Jesse Waters on Fox News explaining.
Trump shutting off the money faucet for fraudsters. Somali pirates in Minnesota looted us for $1 billion with a B. And that doesn't count all the welfare we handed out after importing them here. And now it's time for a refund.
You told me to look into Minnesota and their fraud on visas and their programs. 50% of them are fraudulent, which means that wacko Governor Walz either is an idiot or he did it on purpose. And I think he's bold, sir. We're going to remove them and we're going to get our money back.
The Somalis are upset that the free money and fraud are coming to an end.
We need leaders who will invest in our neighbors, not attack them. The Somali community in Minnesota is the backbone of the state.
Really? We've invested plenty. Billions were stolen. We don't owe the Somalis anything. Now, Tim Walz is under investigation by the Treasury Department and Congress.
They need to focus on the war crimes that are coming up. They need to focus on making life more affordable. They need to focus on the issues they're dealing with. But this is a president in spiral doing nothing to make life cheaper for Minnesotans or Americans.
So Walz lets pirates plunder his booty and he thinks Trump's spiraling?
I think the man's a grossly incompetent man. I thought that from the day I watched JD destroy him and I was saying, who is more incompetent, that man or my man? I had a man and he had a man. There's something wrong with him, okay? There's something wrong with him.
Democrats in Minnesota are panicking. The money's drying up and their biggest voting bloc's going adios. The pirates donated thousands to the mayor of Minneapolis. And now he's telling ICE to leave the Somalis alone. He also said this.
To our Somali community. Daman Shabka, Somalied Kunul, Minnesota, Garahan, Minneapolis, Waan, Kuji Janila Hai, Waan, Ku Gereb, Taganahan.
You don't speak Somali? And he probably didn't say, give us the money back. Omar also got donations from the scammers. So the Somalis stole money from taxpayers and donated it to Democrats. Huh. And the Democrats never looked into this. Huh. And she's not the only one. Minnesota's AG, Keith Ellison, was supposed to be stopping the fraud, but he was caught on tape talking to the crooks 1 month before the FBI raided their headquarters. They said government agencies were racist, and the attorney general said he'd make a call.
Just getting the question, just getting the inquiry from the AG is sometimes enough to make people knock it off.
And then they started talking cash.
And we are willing to put our money where our mouths are in that sense, helping elected officials that are interested in protecting communities of color specifically.
So Ellison said this meeting isn't about money. But a few weeks later, donations were dropped into his account. And now he's playing the race card.
He wants us pointing fingers at each other while he and his cronies run a scam on America. Weaponizing negative stereotypes and racism against our neighbors is morally wrong.
White people get blamed for stuff their ancestors did hundreds of years ago, but you're not allowed to punish Somalis for ripping us off today? If we're so bad, why is everybody trying to come here? Maybe it's because their country's not so great. Ask the Somalis.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
For sure. So, Slim, I know you've been waiting on a clip like that. What did you think about everything going on with them?
The proof, man, is all there. Like, that's evidence for your ass right there. Like, you can't make this shit up, bro. Like, come on. Like, this shit is real. And at the end of the day, it's facts. You know what I'm saying? So when people are committing fraud like that against our country and stuff like that, we can't support that shit, man. Like, we can't have no heart. We can't feel no sympathy. This is America, man. I don't give a damn who you are. If you getting ripped off and you find out about it, it's up for whoever is in the room. It don't matter. Everybody getting searched, stripped. That's what it is. So we can't allow this to happen to us, man. And I love every bit of it, man. I love it.
For sure, yeah.
I'm confused as to what evidence we saw, and like actual evidence that we saw.
They on recording, shorty. They
No, I heard the recording, the clips of the recording, but that doesn't say anything about fraud specifically. So
You must
besides,
have went to the bathroom. That whole
no, I was right here listening to it.
That whole clip was about fraud.
He
What you
said, "Where's the fraud?" Like that's what I'm like. Yeah, he mentioned money and getting donations, but where's the proof of the fraud?
just rewind the show? You'll catch it.
I think they have shown proof.
I
of
like
the fraud.
actual paper proof. I'm not like being.
They've shown
jerk.
proof.
I'm
They've shown
asking-
proof of the fraud. I think they have shown proof of the fraud, though. Like
No, but
like
I'm
they have
asking.
shown.
Like I didn't see any in that clip. Is what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying it's not in that clip, but
There was a
they've
lot
all.
of talking, and they played that little part of that clip of them talking to. Yeah, okay, AIPAC puts a crazy amount of money so that Israel gets all of our taxes. So people get lobbied all the time and get donations all the time. So that's not fraudulent. I'm trying to see, I'm at like legitimately, I fucking hate Democrats and I fucking hate Republicans. I can't stand anybody who is making Americans go against each other and doing things, both sides, illegally. Both of them are, both sides are on the Epstein list. I think every single one of them needs to get the fuck out,
Well,
and we need
so-
all fresh new people in there that actually have integrity. So I digress. I wanted. That's why I was just
You
asking.
missing
I
it.
didn't
The
see
peop-
anything specific
The
in
people of
that
the
clip.
people of the community, the people of the community have frauded the government through these programs. And what they're saying is those people then got the
Okay,
money.
I hear a
and
lot of saying that. I was
they
asking
put the proof. You got to go read it, Heaven. You got to go read it. They put it out. They
That's what
put
I
it
was
out.
asking. No, I said in that clip. All I'm saying
Not
is
in that-
in that clip. Listen to the
But they're-
words. Listen to the
I know
words
what I'm
coming
saying.
out my
In that
mouth.
clip-
In
in
that
that clip, what
clip,
they're
I did
explaining,
not
I think you
see
missed-
any proof. That's all I was saying.
What they were talking about in the clip.
I hear you. I hear you.
I don't think so.
I'm saying
I
in
think
that
you missed
clip, there didn't show any documentation.
All right, I'm gonna
of
explain it.
fraud.
I'm gonna explain it
You're
for you.
wrong.
Heaven, I'm gonna explain it.
I understand.
Heaven,
I get the whole
Heaven, be quiet.
story.
I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna read it to you.
I
Now.
get. I get it.
Somali
I'm
fraud-
saying in that clip.
Okay, but I'm gonna explain it to you. The Somali fraud in Minneapolis primarily refers to several large-scale fraud cases in Minnesota, mostly notable the Feeding Our Future scandal, in which
I was
many
talking about that clip. Great, just that clip. I was asking
What the
evidence
clip
was shown
was
in
showing
that clip.
was the Democrats did not show the fraud because they were getting the donations from the people. So the Democrats knew what they're trying to say is the Democrats are complicit because they knew the fraud was going on, but they didn't blow the whistle on the fraud because they were reaping the benefits of getting money from that community for their running their whatever it is they were trying to do, running their agenda. So they knew is what they're trying to say. These people are defrauding the government, but they're giving us money.
In that clip, so from what I heard in that clip was him saying, I'm going to accept this money for, looking out for and protecting this community.
Hey, Greg, you know about the restaurant? The restaurant that they had, like, I think it was 25,000 people they were supposed to be feeding a month. And the homegirl took a picture in front of that restaurant. And when they went to the restaurant is null and void. And they still receiving government funds from that restaurant for that restaurant. That's illegal.
And it's also the amount, Heaven.
Okay. I'm asking about that clip specifically and what evidence was shown. I'm going back to like, okay. Well, no, that's the clip we're talking about. That's why I was saying
the amount is 200 to 300.
Clip said it showed him all he needed to see. So I was asking.
Why does the clip
like, because what it was a lot of talking.
No, the clip,
you know what I mean?
Extra for me because I knew about the fraud before the clip. That shit was just on top of everything I knew.
Yeah, so
I never seen that clip, so I thank Greg for playing that. That was powerful for me. Thank you. But I knew about the fraud. It's coming. You just ain't see it yet.
So since we're talking about money, is the amount.
So, like next time, if I'm saying like a specific thing, I'm just asking about a specific thing. I don't need. I understand the whole thing. I'm just asking about that one part. Y'all be doing this every single time. Like, no, you don't get it, Heaven. Yes, the fuck I do. Trust me, I do. I'm asking for one specific thing. That's literally all I'm asking. That clip didn't show no actual factual. Here's the documentation, and we are gonna go with the.
Evan, but you're sitting here talking about specifically a clip. You can't just take things specifically a clip. Some stuff has to be pulled from your brain or just looked up. The clip isn't going to cover everything, but we're talking about the amount of money, and this person talked about the amount of money that they feel like a person needs.
Account right here today as we speak, I'm gonna be straight for the rest of my life, no question, right? I don't think everybody is in that, and when you've sacrificed your whole life to get here and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league, and I always explain this to people, like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed, do the math, that's 12 a year, that you have to spend, use, save, invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mama a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really $40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, And now you start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting $8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that.
Ken, how do you feel about Odell Beckham saying 100 million is not enough?
When you hanging around billionaires, it ain't enough, right? When you hanging around rich people, it's not enough. When you hanging around poor people, that's a lot, right? So it's perspective. You know what I'm saying? 100 million when you dead broke, and when you ain't never seen no 10,000, it is a lot. In the grand scheme of things, it's a lot of money, but it's perspective. You know what I'm saying? So look at who he been with for 10 years straight. So you got recency bias. You know what I mean? You're on the biggest yachts in the world. You hanging with the people with the deepest pockets in the world. You know what I mean? So perspective, that ain't a lot of money based on your lifestyle. Now, if you're a person that's a minimalist, you could work that. You could work 100,000 if you a minimalist. But if you a flosser, if you like bitches, if you like a certain kind of lifestyle, if you in the Hollywood, if you like to be on the scene, Odell Beckham ain't really been nothing since he did the catch with Dallas. So he's been living off like social media celebrity. So based on that social media celebrity, he got an image and a lifestyle to keep up. But at the same time, when you are chilling with people with deep pockets, that amount of money is When's the last time Odell Beckham has hanged with somebody broke, somebody poor? So he forgot what that's like. You know what I mean? So it's perspective.
For sure. So we go in this on a funny note, because it's the man cave. This is a lot of issues that a lot of men deal with. So, and I know it's a lot of you guys out there have.
Oh man, that is fucking hilarious.
What's your type?
That's funny.
With long curly hair, like independent woman. I'm picky. Picky, bro. I'm picky as fuck. I can have a choice because when you're a provider, you'll be surprised what a woman will do for you.
The Maybach. I see the top out. Another one. I see the top of the Maybach. I see the top out. I to the top of DJ Khaled. I see the top of the Maybach. I see the top of the
That's why I don't let nobody do
Tell you where, like,
that's why I don't let everybody cut my hair, man.
I mean, I can do the black spray. I mean, it'll definitely define.
Nah, I don't do black spray.
Because I wanted to address you hat fishing. What that mean? What that is? Why you wearing a hat with the suit? Y'all ain't worried about no money though. Ain't nobody worried about no money. Gentlemen, no hats. Take your hats off, gentlemen. Man.
Oh,
no hats. Just fucking hats, bro. Hey, step on in the building.
I'm just go home, bro.
All right, now have a good one.
Lucky I don't shoot this bitch up, nigga.
Well, you got something left from homework?
Yeah.
Let me see what he look like. How will it look? Okay, he's cute. Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, chill. Where y'all going?
So we're gonna go around. We're gonna see if somebody's ever hat fished, and Heaven, you can let us know if you ever been hat fished. Doc, you hat fishing right now? You got the beanie on. You hat fishing?
Nah, I got locks. I had fished before though.
Oh shit!
I had fished before. People probably don't notice I had cancer one time, and when I was going through chemo, all my hair was falling out, and I would not take a hat off. You know what I'm saying? Until I like shaved it all the way and it went bald. I don't give a fuck what they say. You know what I'm saying? That was before I grew my locks out, but I was not taking that hat off. Boy, I had it with patches and all type of shit. I looked like Caillou off Nick Jr. I wasn't going. Like I don't give a fuck. Lord, thank God you let it grow back, Lord.
Slim, you got a comment from Kamal. Slim, take the hat off, bro. LOL.
Hey, I take my hat off, yo. But I'm gonna say something, Doc.
What I say, don't mess with Slim. He ain't hat fishing at all. I said it in the
thing
comments.
I've heard in so long, bro. You beat cancer. God bless you, King. Like at the end of the day, I should have known that first because son. Yo, you beat cancer, man. That shit need to be known, bro.
Appreciate it.
So I'm taking my hat off to that. Salute.
Oh, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Can you hat fish before?
That's the struggle that I never had, bro. You know what I mean? Other dudes got height. You know what I mean? I'm not 6'5". You feel me? But hair, I just had curls in my head, and I could chop my hair off, and my shit will be waved up in a couple days. Hair is something I never have a problem with. You know what I mean? I grow hair. I'm in my 40s. I got thick hair. I got a head full of hair. And if I give somebody a baby, that baby gonna have hair. Hair ain't my problem. So I ain't never had fish.
Heaven, have you been hat fished before? Has somebody just been like, nah, I can't take the hat off? Like, have you been hat fished?
I feel like I don't care if somebody's bald or balding. It doesn't like if I like you, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? You can have hair, you can not have hair. It doesn't.
Can it be patchy though? Can it be patchy like?
But I will say, hey, then look, then we're gonna do one or two things. Okay, we're gonna get it together. We're gonna get it all off. But we're not doing this in between shit. That's what we're not gonna do.
Heaven,
But
can it be patchy? Can it be patchy though? Like Drewski share
no,
was.
no, that's in between. That's in between shit. We're not gonna
That
do
was
in
funny.
between shit. We gonna big that bitch. Okay, get a straight plate. We gonna do it. Do it up. Yeah, cause no, cause that just don't. We need to get it together. But it was hilarious. That was a hilarious clip.
I've
And I
had
said, I told you, Kamal, don't come for Slim. He ain't catfishing. I called it. I knew it.
I've had fish before. I done slept with the hat on, and I feel like the version of hat fishing for women is wigs. Because I remember one chick when I went to sleep, and then I woke up and she was bald head. I was like, "What the heck? Well, old girl." So I mean, like, but people know do what they gotta do. So if you watch it right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell. Know we go live. I guess you Mr. Like what we gotta call you, Mr. Dreads, like Mr. Curly. You got the best hair. What's your final thought?
Nah, no bullshit. My final thought is we're in the last year of the month. Bang out. It don't matter if the first 11 months was trash. End the year right. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till the 1st of January to make a New Year's resolution. Just finish the shit you've been on. You know what I'm saying? End the year with a bang. It don't matter what your money look like. Don't matter what your relationship status look like. Don't matter where you at. Treat right now like it's the first of the year. Do not wait till January 1st to start making goals and New Year's resolutions. I guarantee you 2 weeks in the year, you'll be done. You won't even get through it. Treat right now like it's 2026. That's my word.
Okay, Slim, what's your final thoughts?
Hey man, another great show. Man Cave New Party. I love doing this each and every Monday and Wednesday. And man, we gonna make sure my president does what he has to do because he's doing a great job. That's right. God bless America.
Oh my God.
Thoughts?
Man, some of these holidays is manufactured, man. I don't allow these people to trick you to go out here and spend outside of your wage, spend outside of your requirements, spend outside of what you can afford. Man, my mama never got me everything I wanted for Christmas as a kid, and I still love her to death. Do the things you can do, be around your family, treat them special, enjoy the time. And it isn't all about how much you spend. You got to make sure, January still coming. You got to make sure you're still in the same position to win. So, be careful out here.
For sure. Heaven, you want to go? You ready? What's your final thoughts?
Fuck the government. I don't care who's in office. It's been since Biden. It's been since before Biden. It's been the Democrats and the Republicans and the Republicans and the Democrats. And they always do this. And they've been winning. Hence why we don't have health care, but every other developed nation does. Hence why we don't have regular basic human rights that people actually abide by. That's why people are getting lynched. Oh, committing suicides in trees, allegedly. We need to come together. We need to get together, all of us, so we can get it together as a nation. Because this is not the America that I dedicated my life to. This is not the America that I defended. It's not. Doc, shout out to you for overcoming and beating something that I personally have lost many people to very recently. That is a battle that I pray no one else ever has to fight, but I'm glad you beat that battle.
For sure. Most definitely. Definitely shout out to Doc for beating that battle. We was in Puerto Rico when Doc was going through it for his birthday. So shout out to Doc. And with the Somali stuff, I don't know if Trump is doing something right, but I feel like we should, like Slim and Heaven actually said, we should actually know the real evidence on what's going on, and that we won't see that until a court date. So we'll keep y'all updated on that. Tomorrow they're going to be talking about Venezuela and what's going over there. On Friday, Heaven and the rest of the girls from the cast, they're starting a girls' night. They're going to be talking about the Diddy documentary that just came out on Netflix. So you come for on Friday to see that. Ken, Mr. Rippey, and Nora are going to be at the AmFest in Ken's home state of Arizona. That's going to be 18th to the 21st. So if you want to donate to help us out with that, we're going to be doing stuff from there. We're going to be covering content on that as well. So just keep rocking with us. We'll keep bringing you guys more content. Man Cave.